Healing Through the Sound of Music presents the multi-award-winning one-woman play by Mzuri Moyo Aimbaye in the second coming of the spirit of Fannie Lou Hamer, Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired, on the new direction of Byron C. Saunders, now on national tour commemorating women of civil rights and social justice.
That they brought the story into it.
All right.
So talented, great singing, great acting.
Exactly.
Very inspirational, interactive. I might come back on Friday.
Oh, good. And you are registered to vote, right?
Absolutely.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that voters registration is here.
I'm telling you, well, my father, he was a strong fighter for voter registration. So I definitely can relate to her struggle,
Yes.
her fight.
Yes.
Hey, we got to get out there.
My name is Fannie Lou Hamer, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yes.
They need to hear this story.
Absolutely.
We know all about it when
Fannie came to life tonight.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Anybody hasn't seen this and hasn't met Fannie Lou Hamer, they need to come here
Yes.
and see Fannie Lou in the spirit. Because she came straight through
Yes.
this actress today, and I'm so happy to have been here.
And I'm so happy you came. And don't forget to tell folks to register and
Absolutely.
vote.
I think this show is outstanding. I think this is something that it should happen throughout all of our black schools and our culture. I think when we look at voting rights in 1964 and 65, we need to go back to the grassroots of where it all started, and Fannie Lou Hamer is that person. Bless this production, and I just pray it can just continue to go, and I pray BET picks it up.
Yes.
So God is
Come
good.
on, BET.
God is good.
Now, these people know theater, and they know what it takes to break into theater. What you have is far beyond, it's above theater style. This needs to be in the highest place because it has social redemption value. It has the value to reach out and to liberate a nation and to bring this nation to its own senses and its own consciousness.
Go to thefannielou.com for booking and tour information.
The testimony before the Credentials Committee, the FDP had a lineup of very different people. They had Rita Schwerner, the widow of Mickey, who had been killed in Neshoba County. They had Martin Luther King. Everybody knew King.
The seating of the delegation from the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party has political and moral significance far beyond the borders of Mississippi or the halls of this convention.
But the highlight of the testimony was that of Fannie Lou Hamer. The sharecropper who had been evicted from her plantation had come to symbolize the Mississippi movement.
Mr. Chairman, and to the Credentials Committee, it was the 31st of August in 1962 that 18 of us traveled 26 miles to the county courthouse in Indianola to try to register to become first-class citizens. We was met in Indianola by policemen.
The president, Lyndon Johnson, he's not afraid of Martin Luther King's testimony. He's afraid of Fannie Lou Hamer's testimony. And so he decides that the country should not see her testify live.
Johnson is in the White House, and he convened an impromptu press conference.
We will return to this scene in Atlantic City, but now we switch to the White House and NBC's Robert Goralski.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
On this day, 9 months ago.
He did it knowing that they would break away, thinking he might announce who his choice of vice president was going to be. Instead, he gets up there and he announces, get this, he announces that it's 9 months to the day since Governor Connolly, who was there, was shot along with President Kennedy. So he announced a 9-month anniversary. Everybody's scratching their heads.
Thank you very much.
And then he leaves. And by that time, Fannie Lou Hamer's testimony was over. However, it backfired on Johnson because it became a story that she had been taken off television, and in the news that night and for days afterwards, they replayed her testimony.
I was carried to the county jail and put in the booking room. They left some of the people in the booking room and began to place us in cells.
She had Mississippi in her bones. Martin Luther King or the SNCC field secretaries, they couldn't do what Fannie Lou Hamer did. They couldn't be a sharecropper and express what it meant, right? And that's what Fannie Lou Hamer did.
And it wasn't too long before 3 white men came to my cell. One of these men was a state highway patrol. He said, "We're going to make you wish you was dead."
Today, young black and brown young men and women still live under deadly and constant threat. Tell me, how did we forget Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? You see, I believe with all of y'all help, we can still realize this dream. All of them that have gone on call me back from my grave, and they just won't let me rest. They say, "Fannie Lou, we think you still got something to say. We think you need to tell them all about back then, so that these here young folk can see the new direction that they need to go in." My name is Fannie Lou Hamer, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Let me hear y'all say it. Sick and tired of being. No, let me hear you say it like a minute. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. This is marching on. Me and my husband Pat worked on this W.D. Marlowe plantation. And after several attempts to go register to vote, he called me in to come see him. "Fannie Lou, did you go down there to register to vote?" And I took an address to "Yes, sir, Mr. D. I did." "Well, we ain't ready for this down here in Mississippi." "Well, if you don't withdraw, we gonna have to let you go." I'll have y'all to know I left that night because he might not have been ready. But we have been ready down here in Mississippi for the last 400 years. His truth is,
Now, how in the world can a person get up behind that?
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Perhaps that kind of light can only be kindled by a family like hers. So a black sharecropper's child can grow up straight, confident that she is loved, and knowing that whatever little there is to be shared will be shared. And perhaps that light is the pure light of freedom, the freedom of soul, which enabled a poor black Delta woman to step through a door which had been so painfully opened by others. and dare the darkness on the other side. Fannie Lou Townsend grew up like one grew up when you were black in the Mississippi Delta, fearing hunger and hating powerlessness. She was the 20th child of a sharecropper's family, and she might well have been lost in the crucible of the Delta. In the 1920s, when she was growing up, so many had been lost to hunger, to malaria, to the crushing labor. To survive, everyone in Fannie Lou Hamer's family went to the fields. Years later, she recalled those weary days. I heard my mother. She would sing a song so lonesome and sad to me. It was like she was telling God things.
Oh, Lord, you know just how I feel. Oh, Lord, you know just how I feel. Oh,
in America, we are the only race that had babies sold from our breasts and mothers sold from their babes in slavery time.
glory, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. He's true. He's marching on. Tamir Rice, Michael Brown, Tanisha Anderson, Eric Gardner, and so many, countless others. I don't want y'all to forget how they died. Some say it was justified, 'cause the bullets that killed them was blue and trigger-happy policemen lied. Today, young black men still live under daily and constant threat. Tell me, how did we forget Dr. Martin Luther King? You see, I believe with all of y'all help, we can still realize his dream. My name is Fannie Lou Hamer, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Let me hear y'all say it. Let me hear you say it like you mean it. Lord. Me and Pap worked on this here W.D. Marlowe plantation where I was the timekeeper for 18 long years. And after several attempts to go register to vote, I was called in to come see him, Mr. D. That's what we had to call him. And with hatred dead clean up in his eyes, he looked up at me. Fannie Lou, did you go down there and register to vote? I took and addressed him. Yes, sir, Mr. D, I did. Yes, I did. Well, you know we ain't ready for this down here in Mississippi. Mr. D, sir, now I did not go down there to register for you. I went down there to register for myself. You know, I believe when you find hate in your heart, that you hate not only yourself, but you hate God. And they got a whole lot of food, and Lord, it looked like a picnic. Oh God. The trees were swaying in the wind, and the flowers was looking straight up in the eyes of God and all, and the sun was giving life to everything it touched, and I looked over and I see the bleeding tree. How could people be eating and celebrating when there's a bleeding tree? How can people be eating and celebrating when there's a bleeding tree? And this is my story that I told in 1964 at the Democratic Convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Mr. Chairman, and to the Credentials Committee, my name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer. Then a couple of these highway state patrolmen came to my cell. What's your name, fatso? I said, my name is Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer. Okay, we're going to check that. Not for long, he came back and he said, yes, nigga, your name is Fannie Lou Hamer, and we gonna make you wish you was dead. And as of today, I have a permanent kidney injury and a blood clot to my left eye. And nobody have ever been charged. So if we don't get seated today, Mr. Chairman, I question America. Is this the America, the home of the free and land of the brave, where they citizens have to sleep with their phone off the hook because their life be threatened daily, all on account that they wanted to register to vote, to live as decent human beings?
I submit to you that dreams are made true.
Thank you.
With courage, persistence, and the blood of the slaughtered. Today, we honor Ohio's civil rights heroes who spent their lives making true the dream of Dr. King and making true their own dreams. Whether it's John Williams, the Buffalo Soldier who made his dream true of fighting overseas in World War II for his country that he loves as an African American, yet had to continue to fight for his own justice, equality, and respect as a war veteran upon returning home to America and her racial discrimination, hatred, and segregation. Or Gloria Steinem, the poster child for the modern day feminist movement in this country, who made true her dream of fairness and equality through her tireless efforts on the front line fighting for women's rights. Or the Ohio Freedom Riders, who have put me in awe today, Betty Roseman, Dr. David Fankhauser, and Francis Wilson Canty, who made true their dreams to end Jim Crow, racial discrimination, and segregation in the turbulent South that they described to you in their stories, when they literally risked their lives and often wrote their wills before they boarded those buses and cars headed to the turbulent South, so that they could stare the demon of racial discrimination and violence in the eye. Honda believes in the power of dreams and is extremely proud to be a founding sponsor of the Ohio Civil Rights Hall of Fame, and extends its sincere congratulations to our inductees and their families on this day of recognition and honor for their service. Please give them another round of applause. I now have the esteemed pleasure of introducing Mzuri Moyo Aimbaye, which means beautiful heart who sings. She is with an organization called Healing Through the Sound of Music. Mzuri is currently performing a one-woman show across the country in honor of the 50th anniversary commemoration of Freedom Summer which our Ohio Freedom Riders experienced firsthand, and the story of Fannie Lou Hamer's role with the Freedom Riders. As you know, the work and sacrifices of Ms. Hamer and the Freedom Riders led to the passage of the Voter Rights Act of 1965. Mzuri Moyo Aimbaye is the winner of the 2002 Adelco Award, which is the award for the famous Black Tonys, for her performance in the Fannie Lou Hamer story. Her healing voice was chosen to sing for the 10th year commemoration of 9/11 in 2012 at the United Nations, along with the New York Symphony Orchestra. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to present to you the healing voice of Mzuri Moyo Aimbaye.
I'm honored. This was a surprise for Miss Betty Rosemond. Okay. Feel to be free to walk down the street without being shot. I salute you all today. We need more of you today. broken, wounded, yet time will heal. Heavy the load across I bear, lonely the road I trod, I dare, shaken, yet here we stand, weary, yet we must move on. Trials, they've come to make us strong. We must endure, we must hold on and sing, yet still I'll rise, never to give up, never to give in against all odds, yet still I rise. I feel low, yet still I'm gonna rise above all eyes can see, knowing God is able to strengthen me, still I'll rise. Never to give up, never to give in against all odds, yet still I'll rise high above the clouds. Oh, at times we feel a little low, yet still we're gonna rise. Love one another, love one another, don't shoot one another, love one another, and we shall rise, we shall rise, we shall love you all. God bless you.
Yeah, my turn. Yeah, you want me to sing? My. I tell you what, we've experienced music, we've experienced poems, we experienced history, we experienced several sermons, and I tell you what, the only thing that's left to do for me is to take an offering. I'm looking for the ushers. Maybe I can get Senator Kearney and Representative Patman and Representative Hatchett. Maybe I can get you guys to come up and we can lift the offering. But certainly, again, on behalf of our sponsors, PNC and Wright State and Honda, and my colleagues who helped make life easy and make life hard for me, Bill Patman III and Laura Barrage, and my good friends, Senator Tom Roberts and Stephanie McCarter in her absence. We are
this little light of mine,
spent your time with
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Me and Pap Hamer worked on this here W.D. Marlowe plantation where I was his timekeeper for 18 long years. And after several attempts to come register to vote, I was called in to come see him. Mr. D, as we had to call him, with hatred, dead clean up in his eyes. He looked up at me. Fannie Lou, did you go down there to register to vote? And I took and addressed him, yes, sir, Mr. D, I did. Now, Fannie Lou, you know we ain't ready for this down here in Mississippi. Now, what you gonna do? Mr. D, I did not go down there to register for you, sir. I went down there to register for myself. But if you don't withdraw, I'm going to have to let you go. Well, I have y'all to know that I left that night. Because he might not have been ready, but we had been ready down here for the last 400 years. Now, I failed that voter's registration test 2 times. And I kindly looked up at them and I informed them, you're going to see me here for the next 30 days until I pass. Well, after that, I passed. But I still wasn't allowed to register to vote because they told me I needed 2 poll tax receipts. Well, I'll have y'all to know that I got my 2 poll tax receipts, and I was a registered voter, and I was a citizen of these here United Snakes of America. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that voters registration is here. I said, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that freedom fighters are here. You see, you're a freedom fighter, you're a freedom fighter. We all are freedom fighters. Shine this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Shattered, but I'm not broken, wounded, yet time will heal. Heavy the load across I bear, lonely the road I trod, I dare, shaken, yet here we stand. Weary, we must make our way through. Long are the days, the tears I've cried. Dark are the nights, no sun in the sky. Yet still I'll rise.
never to give up, never to give in against all odds. Yet still I'll rise high above the clouds. At times we feel low, yet still we must rise. At times I'm troubled, but not in despair. Weary, still we must press on. Trials, they've come to make us strong. We must endure. We must hold on. Yet still I'll rise, never to give up, never to give in against all odds. Yet still I'll rise high above the clouds. At times we feel low, yet we must rise above all our problems, above all our eyes can see, knowing God is able to strengthen me, to strengthen me. I'll rise, never to give up, no, no, never to give in against all odds. Yes, we must rise high above the clouds. At times we feel a little low, yet still we must rise and love one another. Love one another in peace and love one another. And we shall rise. We shall rise. We shall rise.
Born in 1917, the last child of a sharecropper, Fannie Lou Hamer rose from humble beginnings in the Mississippi Delta all the way to a seat at the Democratic National Convention in 1964, cementing her place in history as one of the most influential voices of the civil and voter rights movement. AARP presents the Fannie Lou Hamer Story, a virtual play with an introduction by MSNBC's Joy Reid, followed by a one-on-one discussion featuring Fannie Lou Hamer story actress Mzuri Moyo Aimbaye and our host, Harriet Cole.
Mine eyes have seen more of the coming of the Lord. He has never out of vintage where the grace of wrath or sword eyes. He has loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible sword. He is
So the shirt I have on, it was a one-woman play done at the Progressive National Baptist Convention out of Atlanta. The Fannie Lou Hamer story was an unbelievable production. And so they gave me the shirt, so I told them I was going to wear it on the show. And so that's why I'm wearing it. So if y'all see the Fannie Lou Hamer story coming to your town, you don't want to miss it. It's an unbelievable show, so please check it out. And I can't wait till we see Fannie
It is
Lou Hamer.
truly an honor to be speaking with you tonight. That I am here tonight is a testament to the dedication of generations before me. Women and men who believed so fiercely in the promise of equality, liberty, and justice for all. This week marks the 100th anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment, and we celebrate the women who fought for that right. Yet so many of the Black women who helped secure that victory were still prohibited from voting long after its ratification. But they were undeterred. Without fanfare or recognition, they organized and testified and rallied and marched and fought, not just for their vote, but for a seat at the table. These women and the generations that followed worked to make democracy and opportunity real in the lives of all of us who followed. They paved the way for the trailblazing leadership of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And these women inspired us to pick up the torch and fight on. Women like Mary Church Terrell, Mary Cloyd Bethune, Fannie Lou Hamer, and Diane Nash, Constance Baker Motley, and the great Shirley Chisholm. We're not often taught their stories, but as Americans, we all stand on their shoulders.
Historical performance at the Women's Club of Winter Park.
My name is Fannie Lou Hamer, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
It was a packed house for the Fannie Lou Hamer story, Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired, a one-woman play put on by Healing Through the Sound of Music.
Your voice truly does matter. And it is telling the story of accessing fair representation, the history of this nation to access fair representation through the voting process. And Fannie Lou Hamer is a continuum of telling that story, how she became a voice of the voiceless.
Saturday night was the kickoff performance of a 20-city Florida tour. The Hannibal Square Heritage Center was a co-producer. After the play, our news anchor, Tammy Fields, moderated a conversation with panelists about the play, voting access, and recent cuts in Florida's state budget to art and culture.
If we don't get seated today, I question America. Fannie Lou Hamer, Fannie Lou Hamer. But each and every time you go and register to vote, the spirit of Fannie Lou Hamer shall rise. You're saying to all them politicians not doing the right thing, your time up.
Still I rise high above the clouds.
So one day I was watching Like It Is with Gil Noble, and I happened to see Fannie Lou Hamer on there talking about how brutally she was beaten for registering to vote, and I had never heard of this woman, and I just didn't know how that was possible. So I committed that day to write a story about Fannie Lou Hamer.
For 19 years, Mzuri Moyo Aimbaye has been entertaining while educating audiences. From theater to college campuses, the Fannie Lou Hamer story continues to draw huge crowds and rave reviews.
Anybody hasn't seen this and hasn't met Fannie Lou Hamer, they need to come here and see Fannie Lou in the spirit.
Scores of dignitaries continue to endorse and support.
I was in Vegas. John Lewis came to see the play. And, you know, he said to me, Oh, I love Mrs. Hamer. I love her. I love you. You just remind me so much of her. Oh my God, he had tears in his eyes. My college audience is the prime place where I've been performing. And after the show is over, we have like a mock town hall meeting, and the students engage. I engage with them. They ask me questions. I encourage them to go out to vote. The voice of the empowered is beyond just this play. It's about people empowering themselves by making their voices heard. How do we do that? We do that by going out and we vote. Win every single election that there is. I just feel like I'm Fannie Lou Hamer. Fannie Lou Hamer probably would say, baby, it's the same old soup but in a different pot called gerrymandering and redistricting. So y'all need to get on out.
Go tell it on the mountain that voters registration is here. My name
We are sick and tired
is Fannie Lou
of
Hamer.
being sick and
And
tired.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
If you really want to play, these cats set aside a day. Grab your Dutch and come and meet the Juneteenth Jamboree. Man, they really pitch a ball. Load of wigs, the jobs and all. Everything is strictly free. The Juneteenth Jamboree. There's no shirking, no one's working. Everybody stops. Gums are chopping, corks are popping, doing the Texas hop. If you really want to spree, chicks galore, I'll guarantee. Grab your Dutch and come at me. The Juneteenth Jamboree. Yeah. If you really want to play, these cats set aside a day. Grab your Dutch and come at me. The Juneteenth Jamboree. Man, they really pitch a ball. Load of wigs, the jobs and all. Everything is strictly free. The Juneteenth Jamboree.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Joy Ann Reed, host of AM Joy on MSNBC, and I'm so excited to welcome you to Healing Through the Sound of Music's production of the award-winning one-woman play, The Fannie Lou Hamer Story, Voice of the Empowered Virtual Tour. Live streamed from the historic Wayne Dench Performing Arts Center in Sanford, Florida, home of the Trayvon Martin tragedy, I can't think of a better moment or place in the state of our union to experience multi-award-winning playwright, actress, and vocalist Mzuri Moyo Aimbaye's moving portrayal of civil rights and voter empowerment icon, Fannie Lou Hamer. Trayvon's untimely death, like so many others, have become symbols of this nation's growing call for voting empowerment, for human empowerment, for representation, and the urgent need for legislative change and institutional reform. Now, before I continue, I'd like to allow city officials to welcome us to Sanford, Florida.
At a time we're being told to distance ourselves from each other, there's an even greater need for us to come together, get to know each other, and treat each other with respect and compassion. I'm Mayor Art Woodruff, and the city of Sanford is proud to help sponsor this production by Healing Through the Sound of Music of the Fannie Lou Hamer Story.
As Fannie Lou Hamer once said, nobody is free until everybody is free. While on July 4th, we celebrate Independence Day, which represents the freeing of the land from British occupation, June 19th, or Juneteenth, as it is affectionately called, represents the freeing of people from enslavement on the land. Acknowledging both days is celebrating patriotism in a society where all men and all women are created equal. Therefore, Juneteenth is the completion of the cycle for the celebration of freedom for all Americans, said the late Reverend Dr. Ronald Myers, founder of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation. Now, Mzuri and I met earlier in the year when she performed an excerpt of her play prior to my keynote address at an MLK Legacy event at the Rochester Institute of Technology. Her energy and her delivery filled the room with the spirit and determination of Fannie Lou Hamer herself, touching every seat. Fannie Lou Hamer once said, "You gotta vote them out." And I'm saying, you gotta get us in so our voices can be heard and our lives can be counted and truly matter. Now, without further ado, I'm truly honored to ask you to join me for this tribute to human dignity, respect, and freedom for all Americans. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Fannie Lou Hamer story, Voice of the Empowered, VOTE. Join the Voice of Empowered and honor her legacy by getting out to vote. Take care.
I'm going to bring back to you Miss Mzuri Moyo Aimbaye, no longer as Fannie Lou Hamer, but as herself. Please give her a warm welcome.
Register to vote the spirit of Fannie Lou Hamer. The spirit of Fannie Lou Hamer wants us to vote. I believe that Andrew Gillum is going to change the face of this nation. Starting with the water, which is a reflection of us. Oh, beautiful, for spacious sky, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty above thy fruited plain, America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. I'm gonna try it one more time. Oh, beautiful, for spacious sky, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains of majesty above thy fruited plain, America, America, America. You know that God has shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with the brotherhood from sea to shining seas. America, America, God shed His grace.